I'm sitting here with Brightwood Concerned Citizens President Vernon Compton. Vernon, what are your most pressing issues for this area or within the Brightwood Concerned Citizens?
Pressing issue right now is commercial vehicles running through the neighborhood, avoiding the weight limit signs, not enough weight limit signs marking the entryway of the residential area. We have semis running through the neighborhood. At this time, we're fighting a trucking company at the Sherman Drive-In who thinks they can make right-hand turns at 30th Street and 25th Street and 25th and Keystone Way with no issue. We're not set up for that type of traffic, and we need more limits on what cuts through the neighborhood. And we don't need any more trucking companies. We already have plenty of that at the Keystone Parkway.
Thank you, Vernon. I'm Charles McMillan. I'm the Vice President of Brightwood Concerned Citizens. Sitting here today with Vernon Compton, the President, and we're going to talk to him about neighborhood development and Department of Metropolitan Development.
What you got on your mind for us today?
Well, I've been dealing with metropolitan development for at least 2020. That's when I first was introduced to it with a trucking company who wanted to who bought the lot in the industrial park. And at the time, it was actually illegal, but they bought it anyway. Metropolitan development needed zoning variance in order to put the trucks stop there, even though it was clearly stated in the deed that it was prohibited. So, since that time, I've dealt with 2 electronic billboard signs that want to go up next to the interstate. Both of them were close to the party line, where I had to deal with NESCO, which is the other neighborhood organization to the south of Martindale Brightwood. They seem to want to put electronic billboard signs next to the interstate, and the light will glare into the residential area, and they're in a protected area. One was near Poles Run, next to Martin University, which is really close. It doesn't look that way, but once you cross Sherman Drive, you'll see Poles Run to your right as you're going east. So that was the first one. Then there was another one on Roosevelt next to the interstate, and it would have shown across the interstate into Martindale Brightwood, but it would have been in Martindale Brightwood. Each time it took forever to knock these down, but they finally filed a lawsuit against the city because the way the ordinance is written, it prohibits those types of signs, and within the Marion County are surrounding inside 465.
Is that the signs that were tall with the lights on them?
It's the sign that's, there's 2 that got snuck in on I-70. The one near us is at, right before you get to the exit of Shadeland, heading east on I-70. It's an electronic sign that switches and changes display. There's only 2 here in Indianapolis. So I've been helping prohibit these signs, and it's been going on. The problem is that the board that hears this, they don't get paid any money, and we discussed this at our last meeting at McKenna, and a lot of the other neighborhoods are upset about it, because the time of day it is, you have to take off work because it's at 1 o'clock in the day, and if you go to that hearing, there's a good chance it's going to be continued because there's not going to be enough members up there who are volunteering, and they're not getting paid even for their parking. And if one of them have a conflict of interest, and there's only 3 of them up there, then the whole thing has to be continued. And it's been going on like this. And the other members of the neighborhood association are complaining that it's a political setup to prevent people who have jobs for participating in this event of taking care of these matters in their neighborhood. And you would be surprised of the conflicts, and it's really a disruption, and they get away with everything because there's not enough people volunteering to step up to the plate to take care of these issues. It's a serious problem, and it really does need to be addressed.
So when you speak of the billboard company, is that the company we looked at that had a bunch of lawsuits across the state of Indiana?
All other cities, yeah, Reagan is one of them, and I don't have the name of the other company, but Reagan is predominant in this city. You'll see 3 different names on the signs when you're driving down 465.
Sure.
Most people don't pay too much attention to the little name underneath it. Reagan has one sign that has the lotto information on it at the rep at near Menards up there by Pillington Pike. That's their sign.
Okay.
And that was one of the signs that they wanted to go 100% digital. And they're always next to the ramp where, you can't read those signs because you have to pay attention to traffic. And they want to be in those areas that's prohibited. And that was a prohibited area because it's too close to the off-ramp. And they already have a sign there. And that was one of their signs that we had to fight against. And it's in Lawrence.
Now, how tall?
And there's issues with Lawrence and Greenwood and Beach Grove. And all these communities have to come together to fight one entity. It's really a job.
So let me ask you, where does that stand now? Is it still at a standstill?
Right now, all of those petitions, these petitions, were knocked down by the Metropolitan Development because it's not zoned. So they were all defeated. And so now those companies have filed lawsuits against the city of Indianapolis. But there are certain places that they're prohibited too.
So what we're going to do, we're going to get that original petition and we'll insert that in this video so everyone will know, the name of the company and everything that we're talking about will be more clear and understandable. Is there anything else that concerns you about the Martindale Brightwood neighborhood or your role as president, or anything else that you might want to mention or share?
Well, not really at this time. There's other issues with traffic from semi-trucks cutting through the neighborhood. That is a big issue. I requested some weight limit signs from my city council member, Zach Adams, back in late of last year, and still have not heard a response to him. I sent 2 emails to him. He doesn't seem to want to address the issue. So right now, that's my main concern. I want to establish Brightwood area at Keystone that we're not part of the industrial park, and we shouldn't have semi-truck traffic cutting through the neighborhood of Brightwood.
Right. So meanwhile, while you were waiting on that, you had a couple incidents late night outside your home. We want to share those clips in this video. We want to share those clips in this video as well. Do you want to give a description of those 2 incidents? Let's start with the one where, I'll let you go. I know there were 2 incidents. Can you please share those 2 incidents with us?
First one was a hit and run by a freight company, and the city of Indianapolis do not want to file charges for the hit and run of that incident, even though I do have the name of the company and the license plate, the truck trailer number, but the city and the prosecuting office won't do anything about that. The other incident was a truck parked beside my house. idling because he was lost. The police was called, and when I called back to dispatch, they told me that he was legally parked there beside my house, idling outside my bedroom window. That was a major thing too with the police department. I'm not happy with the police department or a lot of things here in the city. I seem to can't get anything done.
That's interesting because I remember you shared this story last week. And you said when the semi was parked next to your house, when the officer arrived, they did not speak to you, they just spoke to the driver. And I was thinking if that was a real incident, you should have gotten an incident number from the police officer. They didn't speak to you?
No. And I really don't have a good explanation from it. It was just, it's just how they operate, you know. They don't operate in your favor.
So that hit and run, that was when that truck made that turn on the dead end and damaged your vehicle, correct?
Yes, it damaged one of my vehicles. The go here and go there car. It doesn't hardly get moved.
But that's still a nice vehicle and it's still yours, and it's insured, it was insured at the time, correct?
Yeah, it was legally parked.
So what became of that? Because that tore up the entire driver's side of your vehicle and busted out several windows.
That's still in negotiation.
With who?
The trucking company.
And your insurance company?
No, not with my insurance company, with theirs. Okay.
Did you get a police report on that?
I did file a police report, and they will not file charges against that driver. And that company will not give me the name of the driver's name.
Now, what I find interesting about both of those incidents, and you may disagree or you may agree, that happened right at the time we were fighting that trucking company up on 26th.
That was at 25th and
25th and Sherman Drive.
At D.L. Sherman Drive. There's
Yeah,
twice that's been that issue.
Yeah, I found it interesting that you've never had an incident with a semi-truck ever until we fought that, and then you have two incidents back to back at night, and it's like you can't get any cooperation out of the police department or the city of Indianapolis on either incident. So we can wrap this video up, and we'll do a part 2 once we edit it and put the actual your camera footage on this video, and we'll discuss it the next time we talk. How's that? That's all right with you?
That'll be just fine.
I appreciate your time today, Vernon. We're going to put the footage in there and release this video to the community. And as a matter of fact, not just Brightwood, Martindale, Brightwood, we're going to release this to Greater Indianapolis. See if we can get some traction on getting the type of results that we need. So thanks for your time today. You got anything else you want to share before we?
Well, I asked for weight limit signs twice with Zach Adams, and he seems to be ignoring me right now.
So you're talking about an actual City of Indianapolis City County Council person?
Right, because when I put in for it with the Mayor's Action Center, it was all denied. He said that I needed his approval to do that, and that's who I contacted.
So that's 3 entities within our city and county where we can't get any traction or cooperation.
Right, because remember, they denied it and said that it had to be an ordinance change, even though there's a sign in front of my house.
Gotcha.
But it's inside it's not on the outskirt of the neighborhood, but it's in the middle of the neighborhood.
Gotcha. Thanks for your time today, Vernon.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.